What's going on, everybody? It's your man Matt on the Jaffe with Jaffe Cycling, here on another episode of The Hot Seat. And today I got a very special guest with me today. This individual needs no introduction, but I felt the need that I would still give you guys one anyway. He is a member of the great Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. This individual is also the co-founder of Henny and Wings. He's also the organizer of the Streets Calling Bike Club, the DC chapter, Mr. Quentin Beasley. How's it going, bro?
Good, man. I'm happy to be here tonight. Happy to roll with you in this new app. You know, this app that I'm not used to doing virtual, being inside. So, really happy to be here right now. So,
awesome. So, Q, I'm going to give the viewers just a quick insight and an overview as to how this all works.
Sure.
I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions, and while I ask those questions, we'll be pedaling. As the ride continues on, it's going to get a little more intense, so we'll be increasing the speed as we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Sounds good, man. All right, so let's go ahead and get up to about 100 watts.
Okay.
Just a nice, easy pace. All right. So, as I mentioned, you are the co-founder of Henny and Wings. Talk to me a little bit about how in the world did that start, bro?
Yeah, so it started on accident. It was one of those things where I was sitting there, I was like, I'm gonna have a party called Henny and Wings. So everybody that came to our party bought some wings, and I supplied the Hennessy, and that's how the party started. It was like a freshman year in college party. One of my good friends, DJ Nightcrawler, brought his DJ equipment, and it was just like cracking. And then so one of my frat brothers, Kwame, was like, hey, you want to do this on a bigger level? So I was like, sure. So we did it, our first party at a venue at Coke and Dagger on U Street. And after that, it went from DC to Dallas to Philly to Ghana to Miami to Chicago. So we were everywhere. We actually had Pastor Troy come through and perform, so it was really turned. So yeah, it's good. It's been good.
So was this something that actually started while you were out in Chicago, or is this something that started here?
No, it started right in DC, in Georgetown, in my apartment when I was working at Georgetown. Okay. Yeah, it started right in there. Had about 100 people in there, outside. It was the best party of a lifetime. I swear.
Dope. So talk to me, transition a little bit. How did you come into the organization of the Streets Calling? Like, was that something that came out of Henny and Wings, or did you already have that plan?
No, I flew home to Chicago, talked to my friend Daphne. She's the founder of the Streets Calling in Chicago. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna expand this to to DC. And she was like, cool, whatever, And so I got to DC, I'm like, hey, I need a logo. So she sent me a logo. And then ever since then, it was just like, we built it up from there. And I used a couple group chats that I'm in, and just dropped a little event in there, and then 15 people showed up, and then we supported a black-owned business in Navy Yard, Aqua 301, yeah. And so my first route leader was Tim O'Brien. I asked him to do a route leader. He said sure, so we just kind of went from there.
That's dope. Dope. All right, so I want you to take a look up at the screen. Right now, we're actually doing right about a little over 100 watts.
Yep.
I want you to increase that speed a little bit. So we'll shift gears here. Nice. All right, so you mentioned some of those black-owned businesses. And I know that the first ride I went to with you guys actually stopped at like an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Whose idea was it to start visiting the black-owned businesses? And tell me how that came about.
That's good. Pretty much Chicago started that, and I just wanted to mirror that. We had a lot of black-owned businesses that were closing or were in the process of, having some financial issues. So then I just said we're gonna support black-owned businesses, and we really highlighted a lot of black-owned businesses in DC that no one really knew about. Like there's some businesses that I didn't even know that they were black-owned. So.
And that's one of the things that I really liked about your group is like how you guys support black-owned businesses. But I wanted you to also talk about just being black, period, and cycling. You've done quite a few of those type of topics as well, too.
I think being black and cycling is something that's different because I never really, as a young kid, you bike for fun. You bike because your friends are biking. your bikes are outside, everybody's just chilling. Then as you get older, like you're like trying to find a hobby, and it's really hard to find hobbies when you get older. So when I start seeing black people biking, it's kind of amazing to me. So it's been something that I've really been pushing through our bike film festival, through Clubhouse. We have a room called Black and Cycling. So really just trying to push it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Now you mentioned something that I had the pleasure of being a part of with the Bike Film Festival.
Yeah.
So we were actually on the panel for Bike Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, how did that start? Like, how did they come to you, and how did you transition that?
Yeah. So I got a DM from a representative in Bike Film Festival, and then she was like, "Hey, we really like your group. Hey, are you interested in hosting Bike Film Festival?" And I said, "Oh, sure. What, I didn't know what it was. So any opportunity to get on, I'm with it." So I just had a meeting with her, and she gave me the logistics, signed off, and then we went from there.
And when does Bike Film Festival, when do they actually film, and when do they actually showcase what you guys did?
So they filmed all the short films earlier, and then we had a panel discussion on at the end of the film festival. And then so we dropped it on Martin Luther King Day, because I wanted it to be representation of the black empowerment on that day. And then we actually expanded it to February 14th. So sales are doing pretty good, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I think you mentioned swag, and one of the coolest thing about you guys, as far as your group, you guys actually, after each ride, you may hang out at you may do happy hour, you might go somewhere that's more of a social setting. Who comes up with the routes, and what type of events do you normally do?
Good question. So I usually come up with the business that we're going to support. And then my route leaders, I have 10 of them. They do the routes. So depending on where the business is at, we may stop on during the route, or we may do it after route. So during the pandemic, you got 60 bikers. People were interested in business, so they just giving the red carpet. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. So this is actually the fun part for me, at least for me.
What?
I wanted to talk to you about cycling. So you switch gears. You used to have a hybrid. Now you got
Yeah.
Talk to me about what you got with us today.
So I got a Cannondale K8. I had a hybrid. I had a Trek Verb 2. Yeah. Big difference. I remember the hybrid. I'm humble. A hybrid really got me, going. But after I did a 55-mile ride, I was like, no, never again. Not with a hybrid. So I got this road bike. It makes things a lot much easier. Also, it's just faster.
I got you.
And you still got to work with a road bike though.
And speaking of faster, I want you to take a look up there. We're going to add an extra 50 watts, so we're going to increase the speed right here. So I want you to go ahead and shift that gear. Nice. Now, I always ask everybody, because I feel like there's a really good story behind this.
Yeah.
Does your bike have a name?
No, it really doesn't. It's black and white, maybe salt and pepper. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm gonna think about that though.
Definitely. We got to get you a name before we end this. Salt and pepper sounds good. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, Q. So this is one of my really good parts of the ride. It's called Rapid Fire. Okay. I'll ask you one word response question, and all you got to do is answer them as quickly as you can. But first, we got to get up to about 300 watts.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Jigga or Nas?
Nas.
Biggie or Pop?
Biggie.
Moet or Bel Air?
Moet.
Day parties or cabaret?
Day parties.
Hennessy or Ciroc?
Hennessy.
Burger or wings?
Wings.
Martin or Fresh Prince?
Oh boy. Martin? Martin, yeah, Martin.
MTV or BET?
Oh, BET.
All day. All right. Woo. Go ahead, cool back down.
All right.
Well, like I said, brother, it's been a real privilege, a real pleasure having you in here. Really want to thank you for coming out. I want you to take a look at that camera and let the people know what Streets Calling has coming up and how can they find you guys?
For sure. So Streets Calling, we have a big year planned. We have a lot of events planned. One of the things we're trying to do is do more after school, support for the community. We're trying to do more traveling, just expand the brand as much as possible. One of the things we're trying to do is work with different businesses, black businesses a little bit more in the community. Also, we're trying to, oh boy. you edit that out. We're trying to just expand our membership as much as possible. So if you're interested in joining Streets Calling, please follow me on Instagram, Q to Alpha. And then follow us at Streets.Calling.BC.DC. And that's it.
Cool. You said you had any shout outs that you
Oh yeah. I want to shout out to my daughter, beautiful daughter, Yala Anik. Shout out to my mother, my Streets Calling family, the route leaders, my advisory board, everybody that has supported Streets Calling. Also, I want to shout out to all the other groups in the DC area that has been supportive. That's about it. But before we go, though, I have a gift for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know, we're trying to try new things here.
Brandon, I like it. I appreciate that. Got my own Streets Calling t-shirt.
Yep.
That they can see me on the road.
And if you want a hoodie or any apparel, please just send a DM to our box, and we'll get that for you.
Awesome. So to all the viewers out there, we really thank you guys for tuning in. As always, this has been another episode of The Hot Seat. See you guys on the trail. Peace.